Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to show you my Wii video game collection. Now, if you remember, I did a GameCube one, and I think I showed off all my GameCube games. So I'm going to do the same for that, but it's for my for the Wii instead. And I'm pretty sure I've got a box down here, so I'll grab stuff. I've got some here as well. We're just going to go through them. We're going to talk about them, and yeah, just show off my collection that I've got. I'm going to start off with what I think is possibly either my rarest one or one of my rarest ones, and that is Tatsunoko vs Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Now, I only bought this because I liked the Marvel vs Capcom games. It's actually in really good condition still. Like most of my Wii games are. There's a little bit on the back there. Hopefully you can see that. I did have an issue recently with my Wii games where I don't think this is a good idea showing this off, but you probably can't see that. But I had an issue recently where I think my Wii games got a bit mouldy or a bit disc rot. I'm not sure, but it comes to the manual still. Still got that. Actually, very classic style manual in the sense that it has the characters' moves and things in this. So if I try and find, I mean, I bought this because it was Capcom characters. I like me some Capcom characters. Where is? Yeah, look at that. Got like Alex, Ryu, Chun-Li. Who else have you got on the Capcom side? Mega Man Volnut, Morgan, Onimusha, man. I don't remember him. Rival Schools is in this. Saki, I'm not sure. Beautiful Joe, Lost Planet. So yeah, probably my rarest game, and it's in really good condition as well. Actually still have the price on the side of it, but other than that, like the actual box and stuff. Bought this brand new for £29. Could probably sell this for about £70, I reckon. But it would easily go for £50 to £60 anyway. It's a fighting game just like Marvel vs Capcom, except that it has Tatsunoko characters in it, like Yataman and whoever else. I know very little. I didn't buy it because of Tatsunoko. I just bought it because of the Capcom side. So yeah, Tatsunoko vs Capcom. Alright, next up, I actually used to own this and then I sold it and then I rebought it. So this is a second-hand copy of Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. This is one of the first games I got for the Wii when it first came out. I had Wii Sports this, and I can't remember if Red Steel was out day one, and I bought that as well. And that's a game I don't own, is the original Red Steel. But this I bought second-hand off eBay. Has the manual in there, which is nice. Disc's a little bit scratched, but all in all, it's actually in really good condition. Now, this was very different to any other Tony Hawk's game. I can't remember what they brought out at the time for other consoles, but this is like a racing game. But the Downhill Jam level is like actually from the original game. It's in there. But this is all races. So you race in this one rather than you would. You use the Wii motion to do that. I also, at the same time, decided to pick this up. Now, I have a fun history of this game. I actually do like Tony Hawk's Proving Grounds from what memory serves. I think this is the last good Tony Hawk's game that isn't the remakes or remasters of 1 and 2. But I couldn't do the final mission because the final mission required you to jab the Wii remote forward with the nunchuck to knock people over. I did like 99%, and I couldn't get it to work in mission. This too is also second hand. Looks pretty good. Back of the box there. Also has the manual. Don't know what this is like. Since I've rebought these, I haven't played them. But I actually like this game. I remember it being good. It might not have held up now, but yeah, Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. I do like my Tony Hawk's games. Oh, one game that does it have the price on it still? No, it doesn't. One of the best games on the Wii, Mad World, made by Sega, made by Platinum. This game is phenomenal. It is, as you can see on the back, black, white, and red, and that is it. And it is basically a game show that you play as this character Jack, and he basically is on the game show. I think he used to be the champion or something, and something happens, and you have to work your way through it again. And it is very, very bloody, very, very silly, funny as all hell. It's got a couple of famous comedians in it. My actual disc itself looks kind of at the top of it. I actually like this disc because it's got Mad World on it and stuff. It's really nicely printed, even though it's got fingerprints all over it. But that disc itself, it seems to be in pretty good nick as well. So luckily the Wii Games manual as well in there. Luckily the Wii Games seem to do the best. Out of all the collections I have, my Wii Games seem to be in the best condition. Not counting Switch. But very, very good game. I would recommend, if you haven't played this, pick this up on the Wii. This is a lot of fun. Very silly. Ooh, this is another rare game that I didn't think would ever be rare. I just bought it. Again, £33 it cost me. And that is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. So I never played the GameCube one. I just bought it because I was like, oh, Fire Emblem. I like Fire Emblem. And now this is the sort of game that goes for like 50 quid plus. For some reason, Fire Emblem games are really hard to get hold of. And again, didn't cost me a lot. Nice, lovely manual in there. Really, I remember this game being really tough. This is very much old school Fire Emblem. It's a tough game. There's the back of the box. You've got Sooth there, who is like the playable character. They play in widescreen. But this is a good Fire Emblem game. I've never completed this one. I really should go back and like finish it. But Sooth and the girl on the front, I've forgotten her name. They're like the main characters. It's really weird having a main character be a mage and the other one be like a thief. Normally you have someone who's like just an all-round decent. But Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, really good game. One of the Fire Emblems I first played. All right, now you're going to see that this is clearly 3 for 2. This is very second-hand. This is Little King's Story. Now this is a game that's kind of like Pikmin, but you have like your own kingdom. Now I played a bit of this. I didn't play a lot of it. I remember buying it because people were saying, "Oh, this is really good." I don't know who it's made by. Marvelous Entertainment, Rising Star Games. Very like fun Pikmin style type game, like RTS basically. You build, you dig, you fight, you smash. That's what it says on the back. So, but I haven't got much to say to it other than I enjoyed what I played of this, but I've hardly played much of it. I know it was on other systems. I think it might be on PC now. I could be wrong, but I think it was PSP and Wii it got released on, and then later on it got re-released, I think. Something a bit different. Link's crossbow training. A lot of people shit on this game, but I think it's actually really fun. I've actually ripped the front of the box as well. Used the crossbow, has the zapper at the top. There it is. It's a fun game. It's not like amazing, but it wasn't bad. It definitely taught you how to use it. It's definitely one of those Wii games that I remember playing a lot of this. Like I got really good at like aiming and stuff. It's just a really good light gun game for the Wii. Just really good idea of using the Zelda IP to basically make a good light gun game. Right, that's the stuff that was out of the box. We're going to dive into the box. We'll start with this handful of things. Alright, cool. Kirby's Epic Yarn. Probably one of the easiest games you'll ever play, but also one of the best looking games ever made. Kirby gets turned into some yarn and shenanigans pursue. It's a very easy game, but it's also a very good game. Fun. The soundtrack's a little bit on the less memorable side, should we say. There's some good tracks in here, but it's just oh my god, look at the disc. This is what I love about Wii discs. Look how colourful that disc is. It's so cool. There's a few more in the box that are like that actually. See if we can find some good ones. Yeah, I really rate this game. I think it's really fun. It's very, very easy. Probably one of the easiest games I've ever played, but that was the whole point. You can't die in this. When you get hit, you just drop all your yarn crystal things. Two-player game as well. Just a really pleasant game. Like, I'm glad that Kirby games exist to be pleasant. Alright. Everyone should know this one. Wii Sports Resort. It's what's there to say about it? It's Wii Sports Resort. It was the game that came with the Wii Motion Plus, and it's fun. It's the sort of game you boot up, play a couple of games of, and then you move on to something else. You know, it's not, you're not going to spend hours and hours, or maybe you will spend hours and hours in it, but it was always one of the things you play that before you play some other stuff. Some of the sports, the sword fighting was really good in it. In fact, what sports were in it? We had sword play, wakeboarding, frisbee, archery was good, basketball, table tennis, golf, bowling. Bowling was much better in this, in terms of like the feel and the controls. Canoeing, power cruising, cycling, and air sports. Yeah, it was all in all, it was a decent game. It's also really weird seeing, you can see in the top corner there, a lot of these games. Yeah, it says 50 Hz, 60 Hz, and then EDTV, HDTV. It's really interesting seeing a lot of the games back then. That's when a lot of the Switch was happening. Switch not as in the console, the switch of like having game TVs all becoming 60 Hz and HD TVs becoming a thing. Alright, possibly one of the coolest remakes ever made for the Wii. GoldenEye 007. I don't know why they keep calling it like 007. Like, that's the part that always I find weird. Just call it GoldenEye. This was a remake of GoldenEye for the Wii, which had multiplayer on it. It basically plays like Call of Duty, if I'm honest. It was very much a... You can play it with the GameCube controller. They very much brought it back so you could play multiplayer. That was it. They redid the entire story. You could even use the zapper at the bottom there, wherever it is there. It was very much designed to be Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan in it, and it's a great game. Honestly, it updates the original. It changes some stuff. This is a remake in the actual sense that it doesn't. The level starts off, the beginning it starts on 1-to-1, and it all changes after that. But really good game. They brought a different version out on 360 and PS3, I think, afterwards. But very good game. Recommend it. Also, another game I absolutely spent way too many hours in. Geometry Wars Galaxies. Great soundtrack as well. This game's fantastic. If you don't know what Geometry Wars is, it's a game where you pilot a ship that's a shape and you fight and shoot other shapes, and they all have different attacks. And you get different abilities, and those are different worlds. This game is really long, honestly. Kuju Entertainment are on the back of it. Bizarre Creations and Sierra. All companies that worked on it. It's just a high score game, but it's really addictive. You basically control, move around, shoot stuff. Like, just fantastic game, really solid. Definitely recommend that one. Worms Battle Islands, one of the more odd Worms games. This game basically gave you, like, you could customize a lot of stuff. Had online multiplayer, had a ton of campaign missions and challenges and all that sort of stuff. But what I remember is this game had a unique set of weapons. There's like weapons in this game that first appeared, and I don't think have come back as well. Great CD again there. Let's see if the manual has the weapons in it. Ooh, the manual's quite small. What weapons have we got going on? So, Boomerang I don't think was introduced in this, but that's a newer weapon. Custom weapons were parts of it. I think that EMP grenade might have been. But it followed on a lot from the open warfare games, I think. There is another Worms game on the Wii that I no longer own, but I plan on getting again, and that was Space Oddity. It was also really good. But Worms Battle Isle is a really solid entry into the Worms games. I own most of the Worms games. I'm a bit of a sucker for it, if I'm honest. Does it have Team 17 on the back? It does. But this was an online one for the Wii. This is a really good game. Again, you know, recommend it. Remember it playing really well, so... Worms Battle Islands. Oh, here's a game I've never played, but I was given. Endless Ocean. I know a lot of people really enjoy these games, but I just haven't ever played it. I know it's about swimming in the environment and things, but yeah. I'm just going to skip over this. It's probably really good, but never played it. Now we have something a bit different. Oh, Ubisoft for part of this. I didn't realise that. Soul Calibur Legends. Not the Soul Calibur you know and love, but it is a hack and slash Soul Calibur game. A lot of people shit on this, but I remember it being fun. Like, I don't know if the story was good, but I remember the actual gameplay being fun. Disc's a bit bland, but I'm pretty sure you had like different characters. It retold the story. Let's have a look. It was designed for the Wii. You can play in co-op as well. But yeah, I remember this game being fun. There's Sophie's here on the back, one of my favourite characters in the game. Yeah, not much to say on it other than it was a good hack and slash. I enjoyed it. Again, never finished it. It's one of those games I should probably go back to and play. Finish. Alright. Something fun. Something a bit different. Something a bit fun. Bit Trip Complete. The exclusive new content. So this is the Bit Trip games, which were originally WiiWare games. This is also the soundtrack. It comes with a soundtrack CD. But the Bit Trip games were essentially little games made for the WiiWare, and then they released a complete set on a disc, and then, you know, came with some other stuff. The game consists of, it tells me on the back, 6 games basically, and honestly the Bit Trip games are really hard but really fun. You had Bit Trip Beat, Bit Trip Runner, Bit Trip Fate, I can't remember what the other ones are. But if you like arcadey style games, lots of colours, really good soundtracks, like really good soundtracks, because they were all rhythm games basically. I don't know if you can even still get this anymore, but oh, the CD is escaping. But I recommend this. This is a fantastic collection of games. Right, back into the box we go. Okie dokie. Okay, this game is awesome. I remember playing this. It was like a newer version of NBA Jam. Now I think this got like a semi-sequel or like a different version for other consoles. This is a bloody good arcade game. Like one of the best sports games I've ever played. So I played the original, one of the originals on the SNES, and they brought this out and I had to buy it. Like it is so much fun. It's arcadey to all hell. Like if you don't like basketball, you're gonna like this game. It is like very fast-paced. You can play as like the president. You have ridiculous like unlockable characters in this. You can play as mascots, but it's quick basketball. You literally just run down, slam it in, or get tackled. You can push people over. You can intercept. It's one of the best basketball games I've ever played. Back when EA was making somewhat some interesting games. It's awesome. It's got the original NBA Jam voice as well. Just really quotable, really fun game. Again, came out on a lot of different systems, but this game is phenomenal. Really like it. All right, one of the few Sonic games that I actually bought. Well, this is used, this one, but like some of the few that I actually did buy. Sonic Colors is a really good Sonic 3D game, 3D Sonic game, sorry, and it's just it was just really good soundtrack. They recently put the remaster edition out, and I know it had some issues. But this version of the game is really good. I think it runs at 30 frames, unfortunately. I could be wrong, I could be misremembering that completely. But yeah, honestly, just a really solid game. The 2D sort of style as well as the 3D style combined really, really well. I don't think I finished it, but I got pretty far into the game. Just a solid Sonic game. Would recommend. Alright, probably one of the best games on the Wii is Red Steel 2. No better sword fighting game will you ever play. This is the best sword fighting game I've ever played. It is fucking awesome. The Wild West aesthetic. So basically you do have guns in the game, but why would you use them? You just swing the sword, so you can do fast attacks, like all kinds of stuff. You can do heavy attacks depending on how hard you swing, and you also get tons of abilities, tons of combos. Honestly, this is one of the best games on. This is made by Ubisoft. I cannot believe they've not made another one for Switch, or at least ported the original or this one to Switch. And the original and this are not linked at all. They're very different. The original was like, hey, go to Japan, you can kind of fight. This is like, no, you're a full-on Wild West samurai. Like, this is super good. Super good game. Like Mad World, this is a must-have on the Switch. The Wii. Like, I still pull this out from time to time. This is an awesome game. The only downside is once you learn to parry everything, it becomes a bit easy, but yeah, just fantastic game. Oh, speaking of fantastic games. Oh, speaking of, you know what? We'll do those in a minute. Let's talk about House of the Dead Overkill, a game that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did. This is just a new House of the Dead that they made, 2-player, because light gun games work really well on the Wii. I keep wanting to say the Switch. If I remember rightly, the manual was like a comic book. No, I thought there was like a comic book in here. But Headstrong Games made it because Sega published it. But yeah, fantastic light gun game. Surprising amount of content in it. A lot, very, very funny, very ridiculous, very B-movie as it's meant to be. But I know you can get House of Dead 2 and 3 for the Wii, but I only ever bought this, and if I buy it new, that's the question. I might have done. Not sure on that one. But yeah, I would recommend, if you like light gun games, it was a really good game made specifically for the Wii. Alright. For some reason, there's a Smash Brothers thing in here. This is one of the best games on the Wii, this Donkey Kong Country Returns. Fantastic game, fantastic soundtrack, really good level design, very colourful game. Obviously the sequel, Tropical Freeze, is even better. But this game is really good. This artwork as well. This front cover is just godlike. This is one of the best like front covers. Same with Tropical Freeze. One of the best front covers ever made. I couldn't believe it when they brought this back. Like really, really like this game. Controls are a bit, but that's just personal preference. They're not. They don't play. It doesn't play badly. It doesn't handle badly. But yeah, one of the best platformers on the Wii. And now probably my favorite platform. Now a lot of people are going to think, you know, hey, Mario Galaxy is probably the best platformer on the Wii. Well, you're wrong. This is the best platformer on the Wii, and I will stand by that until the day I die. This game is fucking phenomenal. This is one of the best looking games I've ever played. The hand artwork is incredible. This is what a lot of indie games want to be able to. It's going to be hard to see that. But go and watch some gameplay of this game. Not only does it have an incredible soundtrack, it has some of the best gameplay a 2D platformer can have. Tons of character, stupid story. There's so much charm to love about this game. And quite frankly, if you haven't played it, and like, is it Goodfield that made it? I think it might be. Like a new Wario Land game needs to come out. Like, honestly, this game is fucking awesome, and just the best game on one of the best games on the Wii. Best platformer easily. Alright, what we got here? Oh boy. Yeah. Mario Strikers Charge Football. The best in the series, hands down. GameCube one, a lot of fun, but this one is the manic mayhem that you know and love. That artwork as well. Look at that artwork, man. Again, the Wii had some top tier box arts. Just like, this game's insane. This game, it does everything that I wanted from Battle League. Just a ton of like character customization on your team. Which character you have, like one leader and then a bunch of minions and things. Good single player mode that was hard. Good soundtrack. Just straight up like one of the best Mario sports games ever made. And I played a shit ton of this as well as the original. Awesome game. Ah, okay. Do both of these at the same time. Pro Evolution Soccer 2010. FIFA 09 All Play. These two football games are probably some of my favourite I've ever played. Start with FIFA, because this is like more well known, I guess. This game is really fun, because there are two things. You have the 8v8 mode at the top there with the Mii's, which is a hell of a fun mode, and the all play stuff. So what they did with this and with Pro Evo was that when you use the pointer controls rather than the classic controls, you could do things like you'd use the nunchuck to move your character, but then you could grab an AI like teammate and like give him commands and like get him to run into space or like come nearer to you or do sorts of things. And that's what's really cool about these games, is that this one had that 8v8 mode plus like a foosball table, but you could also play it with classic controls, or you could play the game with the new controls, and they were just no football games play like the ones on the Wii. Now I didn't play, there was probably other Wii football games, but these are the ones that I own. Pro Evo 2010, this was also really good, has some fucking great modes in it, really good soundtrack for a football game. I can show you the back, but it's not really gonna, it doesn't have a lot to going for it. But just know that the way that these games played, like, was so good. And this was made by Konami. Like, this is a really good, solid Konami game. Both of these games are awesome. If you want fun football games, I can't speak to any of the other FIFA games, or if Pro Evo, I can't remember if any more Pro Evos came out on the Wii. But these two were a lot of fun to play. Oh, we're two more games with similar. Well, they're in the same series. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption and Metroid Other M. Let's start with Prime 3. This is the game that probably my favourite Metroid Prime game, but even saying that, I haven't played that much of it. I got about 4 or 5 hours into this game. I love the controls. I think the controls really add to it. I think a lot of what they did in this game made it a bit easier to get into Metroid Prime. Unfortunately, I really struggle with Metroid Prime to get into. I love it as a series. I love what they do. I think these games are phenomenal. But for me personally, I really struggle to get into them, and I'm much better at the sort of 2D Metro games like Metroid Dread, stuff like that. Metroid Other M. This game gets a lot of hate, and to be perfectly honest, there are issues with this game. but the gameplay itself, when you're running around, you're not having to point the controller at the screen for missiles. Like the dodge things, the story to a degree, and just the environment stuff was really fun. The unfortunate thing is they made you play this game with a D-pad, which really wasn't very smart. But you know, it's not a terrible game. I think a lot of people. This is probably like a 7 out of 10. Like, gameplay-wise, it's actually really good. If they take some of the gameplay elements from this game and put them into a different Metroid game, I think you'd have a very good Metroid game. But I got on control-wise and played more of this than I did play more of this, but I think this is considered a better game. But Metroid, great games. Give me more of that. Alright. Okie dokie. Let's get this one out of the way because I could spend hours talking about it. Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Weirdly enough, why has it got 2 versions? Well, one is an American import, this one, and this is the British version. This one, you can see the box art's actually slightly different. You can also tell by the way the game cases are, and the other thing you can tell is that the back of the box is quite different as well. So the actual art and stuff, different size, different fonts, things like that. Now, I can't remember which one it is, whether it's the English version or the American version. One of them has all the Pokemon capitalized. Now, you're probably wondering, why have you got an American version? So this game came out 6 months before it came out in the UK. So I bought a freeloader and I imported it. And then they updated their console, so I couldn't use the freeloader anymore. But still, I played and loved the shit out of this. This is like some of the most hype stuff. This is obviously my favourite franchise of all time, so I couldn't wait. So yeah, I imported it, and then there's only much differences other than the back of it. But all I can say is, despite some of the issues people have with Brawl, Brawl is one of the best Smash games. Has some of the more content than many games that are coming out now. This was an ambitious project, and it added one of my favourite features, being CDs. So yeah, put them that way around. But yeah, these games awesome. All right. Another couple games I really like. A lot of people might not like them as much. Conduit and the Conduit 2. Conduit seems to only come in this special edition. I've not seen a normal edition of this ever. Now what does that entail? Well, there's a comic. There's a comic inside. Special edition hints, tips and guides. Gives you a rundown of locations and artwork. This is a really nice book, actually. Just tons of stuff forward by them. This was made by High Voltage, and they built an engine basically to use the Wii as best. Oh, here we go. Special edition includes unlockable secret agent multiplayer skin, alien drone single player skin, unlockable unique all-seeing eye with custom details, 20-page art and developer hints. So they came with a lot of stuff. This was an online shooter for the Wii. It's kind of like Call of Duty, yes, but it was actually really fun. I really enjoyed it. And that's the actual box art. That's the normal edition, but I think most of the time people just see the special edition, and that's the back of the box as well. I don't think I ever finished it, but I remember really enjoying this game. When I put this away, as I did with the second game as well. I was really shocked that it got a sequel, and the second one did a lot to add more in. It was kind of one of those old school FPSs where you've got like human weapons and alien weapons, which is awesome. Like, I like games that do that. Here's the Conduit 2, very different than you are in the armor. This used the Wii Motion Plus, and one thing you may not know about this game was it was voiced by John St. John, the same guy that voices Duke Nukem, and he took over the lead for this game. And now your character sounds like him. And you had like Deep 12 online multiplayer, new modes, maps, epic single player, intense 2 to 4 player split screen co-op and combat, unlock weapons, customized characters and gear loadout. This was a ton of stuff. Like, this game had a lot in it, and the wave-based mode was really cool. You can unlock perks and shit for that. Just these two games, like there are so many good games on the Wii that nobody ever talks about, and it really frustrates me. These games were good, along with, like I said, Mad World and NBA Jam. Like, tons of great games on the Wii. Alright, I'm not going to go through every single one of these because they're all pretty much the same thing. That one maybe not, maybe on its own, but I have a ton of Guitar Hero and Rock Band games here. So we've got Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. I do like this one. It's not my favourite though, but this. I think a lot of people really like this one. Guitar Hero World Tour probably is my favourite. It's the one I played the most. I think this is where the Wii let you download songs, and you could do it on this one. Oh yeah, it's just, so we get a proper shot of the box art for both sides. This is when Activision were pumping out. What songs were on this one? Anarchy in the UK. Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs. Sabotage, Knights of Sidonia. Tons of good songs actually. World Tour came out. This is the one I played the most. Yeah, Blink 182, Beastie Boys, Bon Jovi, The Doors, The Eagles, Foo Fighters, REM, Smashing Pumpkins. Just a ton. This is the one that also added, you'll see on the back actually, the ability to play drums and sing. And quite frankly, this game also added a ton of DLC. This game's fucking awesome. I think. Where is the 5th one? This is probably the least popular one. Was Guitar Hero 5. A bit more mainstream, a bit more poppy. I believe you could use all the songs you had from 4 in this. And it had people like Arctic Monkeys, Iron Maiden, Kings of Leon, Muse, The Rolling Stones. Just a ton of stuff like that. But this one was a lot more, poppy. It wasn't all just heavy rock and stuff. And then they followed up with Guitar Hero 6 Warriors of Rock, which this one was much more well received because they went back to doing the rock style stuff. So there you go. Import songs from previous Guitar Heroes. You could basically play everything in this, so that was really cool. And then I also had Rock Band 2, Rock Band 3, and specifically the Beatles Rock Band. All those games I really like. I don't want to go into all of them because they're all pretty much the same. They're all rhythm games, but the Wii had a lot of them. As you can see, Activision and then EA was pushing these out. Yeah, I love it. I love that stuff. I might have the Rock Band guitar, but mainly just the drums and stuff from Guitar Hero. I think I got the drums for this because it was dirt cheap at the time. Because unfortunately that fad died, and then they did try to bring it back. But all right, swiftly on. Not going to spend much time on this at all. Wii Fit, it's a lot of fun. Actually will get you fit if you use it every day. The back of the box is boring as all hell, but this is obviously part of that more family-friendly stuff that Nintendo were trying to do, the touch generation things. It's Wii Fit, it's fun. Everyone's favourite Mario Kart Wii. Probably one of the worst box arts for Mario Kart, if I'm honest. Very plain. But the back was more interesting. New items. The Cloud hasn't come back. The Power Block very rarely comes back. I don't think it's come back. Neither is the Super Mushroom. I like Mario Kart Wii. I think it's got some good tracks. I think the game itself is pretty solid. It's not my favourite one. It's not the most memorable one, but it was like, added in bikes as well, I think. But yeah, just a really solid entry for a lot of people. A good game with a lot of content. Oh wow. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This was a huge team up at the time because, hey, Mario and Sonic are teaming up. I actually like this game. It's a little bit harder to play now, but I think, again, look at the box art on that. Like, the box art on that is fucking awesome. That was for Beijing 2008. Made by Sega, but yeah, just a ton of games. A ton of different personality in this game. Just a lot of fun. Just a really good, like, minigame game. There's the follow-up. That's where I got it from, the local store at the time for 30 quid. Brand new, the Winter Olympics, and I stopped buying them after this. Again, apart from the sticker being over Sonic's head, this is a really good box art. And on the back, you get to see the characters and things. More of the same, just the winter version of the last one. Good game. Where is... Oh, let's get this one out of the way, because I think a lot of people don't really rate this game, but I thought it was fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up, Smash style game. I can't remember who made it, but there was Game Arts, I think it was. Guys also helped out on Smash. This is just a Smash clone, just it has its own flavour. The levels are actually pretty fun. It's a good game. It's just one of those things that just gets forgotten about because it came out on the Wii when it had Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But really cool box art. You could actually unlock the Rabbids in this because it was made by Ubisoft. Well, I don't think Ubisoft published it, but yeah, just a good fun game. If you've got Smash, you're more likely to play that. But yeah, good game. Okay, where's the... It's probably the two games people cover over the most. about this console: Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2. To be honest, I blur these games together because I forget what worlds are what. Probably this was when 3D Mario really became, like, in my opinion, like, really great. I like the idea that you do a level maybe no more than about 4 times. It might be wrong there, but this one had Yoshi in it. This one didn't. This had, I think, music I preferred, but honestly, these are 2 of the best games on the Wii. It's really hard to fault them. This come with a tutorial. This is when Nintendo were doing a lot of that, helping people to play. So the backs of the box art are really good on these. Did it have a good disc? Even the disc was pretty sweet. And then on the back, it shows you the power-ups and the co-op play. And the same with the second one here. Really nice box art. This is actually in a box, as you can see. Still managed to... Oops. That shows off Yoshi and some of the new powers. Well, I managed to drop 2 games. Oh, what have we got here? Okay, cool. So, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I really like this game. I like the New Super Mario games, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people get bored of them, but straight up, really cool. This has one of the coolest looking discs and manuals, actually, for that matter, for the Wii. The whole thing was red. Just... The box art's a little bit near, like this picture is much bigger than this, and there's more to it, but they kind of cut it off with that. It was a 4-player game, it was fun, it worked really well, but I think that and having up the Wii U one afterwards can't be fatigued people, and nobody likes the new monkey. And then this little gem, Super Paper Mario. Very different to the other Paper Marios that came before it. But do you know what? I actually really liked this game. I thought this game was a lot of fun. I liked Thousand Year Door. That was the first Paper Mario game I played. This came out and has one of the coolest moments in video games for me. But yeah, just honestly, like a really fun game, really interesting story. You get to play as Bowser. You get to do some funny shenanigans. The writing was good in this game from what I remember. It's been a long time since I've played it. When did it come out? 2007 I think is when this came out, so wow, that's a long time ago. But yeah, to show the box off again with the dragon on the back. Just a solid platformer game, weird sort of RPG mechanics, but all in all, very good. Alright, we're coming to the end of this. Oh yeah, okay. This system had some amazing platformers on it. This game's awesome. Rayman Origins, they rebooted Rayman. Fucking fun game, tons of content. Could play it 4-player. Had some. I don't think this one had music levels in it, but the follow-up did. But this game was just a lot of fun. It had an amazing first world with like a Jew's heart being used and stuff. Very memorable. You couldn't die necessarily in this game. It was just silly. It was animated really well. It used the UBR engine, I think. Great game. It's a shame that they've never made another one after what's this one? Origins. So the other games. I'm blanking on its name. The other Rayman game that came out that I've got on Wii U. But these games were a lot of fun. Ubisoft needs to make another one. Oh yes. One of my favourite games on the Wii. Definitely frame rate wise does not hold up nearly as well as it when I remember it. This game's awesome. They kind of just brought back Excite Bike, but they did it with trucks instead. Great music. The only game on the Wii that let you play your own soundtrack, so you can do that. Just a ton of fun. Wasn't just about winning races, it was about getting stars. I unlocked most of the things in this Monster Games. I think they got bought out by someone, but honestly, like I know there was a sequel called Excite Bots that we never got over here in the UK, but this game is just awesome. This is one of the first Wii games I remember coming out. Really good game. WarioWare Smooth Moves, another really good game. I think the Wii just had banger after banger. This game works incredibly well. The artwork of Wario is amazing. With the way you had to use the Wii remote, you have to like pump it and push it up and down and put it on your forehead and put it on your nose and do this. And honestly, they're just a really fun. I think I prefer the GameCube one for multiplayer. Single player wise, this was really good. Oh yeah. It's a sequel to a game that I loved on the GameCube, Battalion Wars 2 or BWE. This game's fucking awesome. It's like Advance Wars, but like real time. It was originally this series was going to be Advance Wars. This box art is amazing. Shame the disc's not so good, but it is still cool. But you can see it a bit better there on the manual. The colours just pop. Whoever designed this did a fucking great job. I don't think Kuju exists anymore, which is unfortunate. But this game is just a really good sequel. Really good fun. Added in boat combat. I love Battalion Wars. This did have an online multiplayer, both competitive and co-op. I don't remember much of it, but I remember this game being really good and hard. Alright, Monolith. A lot of people probably don't remember this game. Disaster Day of Crisis, made by Monolith. Monolith Soft, sorry. And this was a light gun game and a third-person adventure game. And you basically had a terrorist attack going on while there was hurricanes, floods, volcanoes, fires, all sorts of stuff. Not the most interesting back of the box. Very bizarre game. Glad I own it, because I think this might be one of those games that's quite hard to get hold of in the future. But honestly, if you want to play something a bit different and a bit weird, if you can get your hands on this, definitely worth playing. Don't know if I got it brand new, where I got that second hand, honestly. Splinter Cell, Double Agent. I actually like this version of this game. This was the same as the PS2 one. I love Splinter Cell. I have played Double Agent on 360 as well, and it somewhat follows the same story, but this is a bit different. This plays more like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, the third one, because it wasn't using the new engine. But it worked well with the Wii, and you have to like make decisions on levels. I have not played it in a while. You can have to play it split screen as well. But Splinter Cell games are all good. I remember it being good. Maybe that might be one of the weaker ones. I think, I mean, some people didn't like Conviction. I liked it quite a lot. Metal Slug Anthology. Just a collection of the Metal Slug games, which are just arcade games. I don't know how many were in this. 1, 2, X, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just a really solid Metal Slug game collection, sorry. You can play it 2 player. You can just have infinite lives. You didn't have to worry about like constantly having to put money in like there were the arcades. SNK, wouldn't it? SNK Play More. If you haven't played Metal Slug, I'd recommend it. It was good. Punch Out, fantastic game on the Wii. Really, really fantastic game made by Next Level Games. Did a really good job. Nice art style, nice gameplay, very silly, like the original. Tons of stuff in there. Just a good game. You can use the balance board as well. The Wii Fit balance board allows you to play like step off, step on stuff. But Punch Out, what do you expect? It's a good arcade game. In fact, Punch Out, I say this now, Punch Out has more in common with Dark Souls than a lot of other games do. Alright, last 4 games I can remember. Ghost Squad. I don't have much to say about this other than it is a light gun game made by Sega and it runs on the Wii and it was fun. Not very long, very short game, but yeah, it's a game I played. It's a light gun game. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Probably debatable whether people like the game or not, but honestly, I liked this game. There's a ton of content in here. You had loads of different emotes. You had like 60 plus characters, especially a new Chameleon exclusive. This had so many characters, even though a lot of them played the same. Create a fighter, finish opponents with create a fatality. Mario MK style with up to 4 players in motor combat, so Mario Kart like that. Great artwork though. I do like this front cover. But yeah, tons of stuff there. And then lastly, No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. I really like the No More Heroes series. I think these two are probably the best. I like 3 a lot as well. Travis Strikes Again is good, but it's not nearly as good as these. They are janky games, but they're also really fun, really funny, ridiculous. That's the back of the first one. You can see how ridiculous the art is and stuff in it. Just pops up the board. Cell shaded kind of game, very brutal. And then the second one as well. Nope, that was the second one. That's the first one, and that's the box art. I can't remember from the back of it. Basically, the player's Travis Touchdown. He's great. It's awesome. And that is all of my Wii games that I'm pretty sure I brought up with me. So you can see that's my collection of stuff. There's a couple of rare games in there in the sense of like Tatsunoko versus Capcom and whatever it was the other one I picked up. I can't remember what it was now. Yeah, I've forgotten. Anyway, yeah, that's my Wii collection. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you guys have some of these games. You know, let me know what Wii collection you've got or any games you might have. I don't think I'll add much more to it. There are a couple of Wii games I'd still like to get, but nothing's going to cost me an arm or a leg. I'm not like hard into collecting Wii titles. But I'm happy with my collection that I have. I think there's a lot of good games in this, and it also shows that a lot of these games weren't like just kid games. There was some good support from other developers. So that was, you know, which was cool. Things like Mad World and No More Heroes, Red Steel 2 are fucking awesome games, and they definitely deserve to be played. You know, I'm glad that No More Heroes 1 and 2 came to Switch, but Those games were so good on the Wii. So was GoldenEye, things like that. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this video. As always, if you like this content, then hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.